All right, everyone. This is another update from Great Lakes Weather. The time is 1:12 p.m. and the day is December 27th. So, Merry Christmas. Hope everyone had a good Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. And coming along with the new year, we have some weather to talk about. We have a couple variable situations. There will definitely be precipitation. Just what kind of precipitation and where is the big issue that we have that we are going to be discussing. And we're going to have multiple rounds of it throughout the next week. So we are going to go over that and the potential for some cooler weather on the way through the beginning of January. All right, before we get to that, I want to make sure that you connected to all of our different platforms. We have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and Remind. If you live in Southwest Michigan, Remind is for you. Also, we have weather station data that is available for the Southwest Michigan region now. You can scan that QR code to get access to all of the different services that are provided on Great Lakes Weather. All right, let's get started with a little bit of a forecast discussion here. First off, we're going to look at the nationwide Gfs model. And you can kind of tell this is the current map. We just had that warm front lift northward, producing all that snow in the Upper Peninsula. And it's lifting off to the north, and that's where we're getting this warm air. Temperatures are in the 40s right now across Southwest Michigan, and as you go farther south, it gets warmer. You have rain falling in some spots. It's very foggy in some different regions. So that weather is moving through and is going to be passing through, and then we're going to see some colder weather on the back side of it associated with a weak cold front. So let's take a look at how this evolves. So southern Indiana, southern Ohio are going to stay on the warmer side of this. They'll be a little bit on the chilly side. Let's take a look at the temperatures real quick before we get to the forecast so you can get an idea. You have temperatures in the 60s already in parts of Indiana, Ohio, and off to the north you've got that divide. You have 30s, around temperatures in the 40s at my house. So it's kind of warmer than it says here. Then off in places such as the Upper Peninsula, you have temperatures in the 20s. So you have this trend of warm to cold as you head north to south. And it's kind of going to stay that way throughout the next several days, which is going to contribute to the potential for some ice, maybe some snow off if farther north you go, and then rain farther south. So that is what we're dealing with. Let's go to the precipitation here. So back to current time. You've got another system that develops on the backside of the low pressure system we just had. This is on the 28th, so that is going to be tomorrow afternoon, most likely. And then parts of northern Indiana, northern Ohio, and lower Michigan are the places that are going to see the most snow. And Wisconsin's also going to see a lot of snow, but that's going to lift off to the east. Looks like we're going to see maybe 1, maybe 2 inches of snow from this, those of you that will get snow. The rest of you down south are going to see rain. So that's the first system. The next system is going to come around the 30th, where we get a little bit more snow in Michigan, but farther south you go, you get more rain, parts of Indiana, Ohio. Again, that 540 line that you see right there, going along the kind of the borderline between Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. That line really has a role to play in our snowfall. So anywhere you see that line, that's really where you see the transitioning point between rain and snow. That's what we pay attention to when we're looking at these models. So you have the 540 line over the border. That system's going to be relatively short as well. Maybe see an inch of snow from that. It is the New Year storm that is looking particularly interesting in regards to our potential for major snowfall. So let's actually go to a view of the jet stream as this unfolds. So we're going to go back to January 2nd. It's really when we see that low pressure system. Look at the strength of this thing. You got a nice inflow on the back side, and then it's pushing out off into the Great Lakes region. This is what's going to really influence our weather over after New Year's. And this is the storm that we want to be watching in regards to severe weather in the south and heavy snow in the north. Where will we get that heavy snow? That is the biggest question. That's going to be the most unpredictable thing in regards to this system. Let's actually take a look at that right now. We're going to go to precipitation type. So here we are. Let's accelerate it back to January 2nd. All right, so this is the storm. With that jet, you've got lots of moisture from the south being pulled up into the parts of the Appalachian Mountain Range, parts of the Ohio River Valley, and that is going to be lifting northward. What we have to watch is where this transitions to snow. All right, so if the line of transition, which so far it's in central lower Michigan, so anywhere off to the north, could see up to 8 to 10 inches of snow, I'd say. We'll look at the accumulation measurements in a minute. But what we're going to have to watch is that transitioning line. That's going to tell us how much snow a certain region is going to get, how much ice, and how much sleet, how much precipitation overall in general. Because this is going to be a very unpredictable system. That's all I got to say. So it's going to lift off to the north. There's definitely going to be some severe weather down to the south associated with the cold front. On the back side, it's going to be a lot colder. All right. Let's take a look at snow accumulations from this particular system. I'm going to go to a single image because that'll help us get a more accurate reading. So this is after the storm passes. Let's go back to here right after the snow lifts off to the north of the region. So snow accumulations, winter weather. After 24 hours of this storm, it looks like the major snow is going to stay off to the north of Michigan. Snow accumulations of up to a foot in parts of Wisconsin, a foot in Mackinac, in the Upper Peninsula, and those regions. Looks like down south you're not going to see as much snow as was originally forecast. Down south, at first, when I looked at the previous models, it said that anywhere in lower Michigan could see up to 16 inches of snow. So, luckily, that's not the case unless you're a snow lover. That's very unfortunate for you. But let's go back to the precip type. All right. So that's that's the storm that we're watching. If that 540 line goes south, we're going to see a lot more snow farther to the south. It all depends on where that warm front's sitting as this storm moves through. That's going to be a stronger one. So that storm is going to continue to progress off the east. And then it'll finally move out of the area. We're going to have some cold temperatures on the backside. And pretty much anywhere in the Great Lakes region is going to be cold. Probably temperatures in the 20s in Michigan and then in the 30s as you get into southern Ohio. So it's going to be cold. Unfortunately, there's not going to be snow with that, especially if you're down south. So unfortunate circumstances there. It's not really any reason to have cold without snow. So the next storm we're watching, I think, comes around the 8th, maybe? Yeah, I think the 8th. So let's take a look and find that. Got a nice big warm front that's going to lift off. Yeah, it's really looking rather rough. Yeah, it looks like the GFS isn't really... So that's the next storm we could possibly be watching. Looks like pretty strong, but again, this is long range. Let's take a look at some other models that really help to depict the snowfall that might be coming. So 28th storm. Looks like there could be about an inch from that. And then we got another storm that rolls through on the 30th. Looks like the rain-snow line, the NAM puts it out a little bit to the north. Let's take a look at potential snow accumulations based on this model. So if we check it, so this model puts out a potential for 3 to 5 inches across northern Indiana, northern Ohio. Again, with where we're at with the rain-snow line, it's very unpredictable of where we could see a large chunk of snow until we get really close to it. Again, a foot of snow potential in Wisconsin up until New Year's Eve, and that's not even contributing to the January 2nd storm that we're really watching. So let's go to the Ecmwf because this one is actually rather interesting. So we're going to go to a forecast loop. So there is the precipitation or the potential snowfall Tuesday the 28th in northern Indiana, southern Michigan. That'll pass through. Let's see if it shows the January 2nd storm. It doesn't. We're going to have to go one model run back. But this model run actually puts the January 2nd storm, it puts us on the north side of it. So if this takes place where we're on the north side of it, we're going to see a lot of snow in this in this area here. Parts of Ohio, parts of Indiana, and a little bit of lighter accumulations in Michigan. So after this storm passes, snow accumulation based on a 10-to-1 ratio, so this one might be a little bit less. So this is after January 2nd storm. This one's putting out 5 to 8 inches across parts of northern Ohio. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on, because GFS is putting this rain snow line in central Michigan, and then the Ecmwf model is putting it in central Ohio. So big difference there in regards to the models. So that inconsistency could mean that we could have the rain snow line in between, anywhere between central Michigan and central Ohio, according to these two models. So that's going to be the next thing to keep an eye on. And on the back side, if we go back to the GFS real quick, go to a forecast loop of temperatures, we're going to have some cold air. So watch how the cold air changes as we go past January 2nd. So right here, we're at 30th, 31st, the 1st. Then January 2nd, you got that cold air building into, especially Upper Peninsula, single digits, sub-zero in Wisconsin, teens in Michigan, then 20s in Ohio. And then looks like the model's not really putting out as much colder air as before, which is good news. But it looks like we are getting set up for a nice Arctic blast moving in to parts of Michigan later on around January 12th. So those are all the storms I'm watching. Again, it's going to be very difficult to predict those different storms. So you're going to want to keep an eye out on the latest forecasts, listen to your local meteorologists, potentially, and also make sure to check NOAA's website for latest updates. These models just give us an idea of what we could see. They're not official forecasts, so remember that as you are looking at the different models. All right, so thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your week and have a happy new year. I will see you all potentially in 2022.